Hey y'all, spiritual whistleblower here with another holiday video. As you know, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, with Christmas holiday season following. And like I've stated several times before, this is the time of year where abusive family members really turn up the bullshit. If you in fact decide to go to visit them on the holidays, let's just say you're going to Thanksgiving dinner, if you are truly the scapegoat of the family, you can be expected to be, what's the word, interrogated. They want to be in your personal business. They want to know who you're sleeping with, how much money you make. They want to be in your kids' business, your baby father's business. They're sizing you up, to see if you've gained any weight, you've lost any weight. It's like you're under a microscope, okay? And the energy is weird. Like, it's almost like you can walk into the room and you can feel the energy from them talking about you. Like they were talking about you before you walked into the room, and that negative energy is lingering. It's definitely been like that for me on both sides of my family. I've witnessed personally the gossiping. And as a real woman, I can sit here and say I've participated in that gossip. Before I became self aware about this whole narcissism thing, I can sit here and hold myself accountable. I was toxic because my family taught me those toxic behaviors. A lot of you guys will ask yourselves, well, am I the narcissist since I, attract narcissists? No, honey. Let me make you understand something. If your mother, father, grandparents are narcissists, you had no choice. You were born into it. I can assure you, you were taught toxic ways, toxic behaviors. You were taught to gossip. You were taught to normalize triangulation. I participated in triangulation. I acted like I was my daddy's favorite child because when my baby brother played basketball in other countries. So my brother is primarily my father's favorite child. When the favorite child is not around, the favorite child is missing, then your parent will seek a temporary golden child. So I filled in the shoes of my brother while he was away in another country playing basketball. Him and my father were not in communication. I sat in and I was the golden child. That golden child role, that golden child position is interchangeable. Absolutely. So there were many times I acted as my father's gossiping partner. My father would talk about my mother. He cannot get through a conversation without talking about my mother. He was obsessed. And if your parents are truly narcissists, they are obsessive over each other. They will bash, gossip, and smear each other. But the moment that you turn against them and cut them off, they will put their differences aside and they will team up together to come against you. Yeah. But many years I acted as my father's golden child. I was his gossiping partner. And that's where I started learning how feminine acting and misogynistic my father was because he behaved like a woman on the telephone gossiping. He ran his mouth like a woman. And me not knowing any better, thinking that I was the favorite child, and my father would talk about this one and that one. He talked about my sister because my sister is just like my mother. He talked about everybody, but I found out that he would talk about me behind my back. He started some mess with my cousin and my sisters. We were all beefing. And that's because we're up here up north, New York and New Jersey. He's all the way in Florida. So he can sit on the phone and gossip with this one and that one and that one and this one. And when some shit goes down, he could disappear. He don't have to answer his phone because he's all the way in Florida. He can hide. But that's what he was messy. My father's very messy. He's very zesty. He's in the closet. I feel he's in the closet and he needs to come out. He's a messy, man acting like a woman, always has. I actually sat up and gossiped. And I'm not proud of that behavior. I own the fact that I participated in gossip, against family members, sitting up with my father, and I'm ashamed of myself. And I don't ever want to do that ever again. That was a learned behavior, one of the toxic things. So, I need y'all to understand, if you were born into this type of family system where your family is messy, dysfunctional, toxic, narcissistic, you're going to pick up those traits. Now, whether or not you become a full-blown narcissist, as you become an adult, it depends on a lot of factors. You're going to have narcissistic traits. Having traits is different than having the full-blown disorder. This is where people get, the traits mixed up with the full-blown disorder. We all have narcissistic traits. If you take a bunch of selfies and post it on social media, you are behaving narcissistically. It doesn't make you a narcissist, but that's narcissistic behavior to post, multiple photos of yourself, a bunch of selfies. Okay. But it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You're a master manipulator like the actual narcissist with the full-blown disorder is. Okay. So you have to know the difference. You grew up in a family with a bunch of people who actually have the full-blown disorder. Your mother, your father, your grandparents, they have the full-blown disorder because they've been abusing and manipulating for decades. You're a child being, raised up in it. You're going to pick up those behaviors. That's what we like to call as narcissistic fleas. Now, when you become an adult, that's where you're going to make the determination. You're going to look in the mirror and say, why do these bad things keep happening? Why does this keep happening? I don't like the fact that I just sat up and gossip. I don't want to be a part of gossip. I don't want to do what my family taught me. I don't want to go to, family functions. It doesn't feel right. Your spirit is going to tell you that your family is not right. Now, then you're going to eventually cut your family off and start cleaning up your act. You're going to get your act together. You're going to get your life together. You're going to stop doing the things that you learned that were toxic, all the toxic programming. You're going to unlearn everything that your family taught you, and you're going to clean house. You're going to get your life together. You're going to be in therapy. Now, for those in your family that have the actual full personality disorder, they're not going to change. When they become adults, they're going to continue the cycle of abuse, and they're just going to jump through life manipulating everybody. So I made this video to get you to open up your eyes. You're going to get fed up of the gossip, the triangulation, the mess, the dysfunction. There's pedophiles in your family, and you see how your family protects the pedophile. There's abusers in your family, and your family will cover up and protect these abusers. Your family is quick to run to church every Sunday, trying to behave like Christians, but the rest of the week, they are the total opposite, and it doesn't sit well with your soul. So, when you step away and cut your family off because you're sick and tired of their trifling ways, they're going to stalk you. They're going to, that's why I really made this video. I want to explain to you why they're attempting to go so hard to get you to break no contact. They're trying really hard to suck you back in. They want you to come back to family. And they're going to guilt trip and gaslight. You only have one family. At the end of the day, that's still your mother. You only have one mother, one father. The Bible says, honor thy mother, honor thy father, so the days will be long. Yeah, they cherry pick Bible verses and use it against you. But they overlook the Bible scripture that says, do not provoke your children to anger. See, they pick and choose which Bible verses they can use against you. They weaponize the Bible to guilt trip you into being submissive and returning back to that toxic family structure that you refuse to be a part of. The Bible, what is it? Ephesians, do not provoke your children to wrath. Do not provoke your children to anger. There's consequences for that. And that is where the narcissistic mother, the narcissistic father, the narcissistic grandparents, they don't want the smoke. They don't want to admit that they're the reason that they've caused you to become enraged and anger. They'll get mad at you and they'll gaslight you for being angry, for the things they've done to you. Why don't you just get over it? Why are you holding on to the past? This is what they'll say. Dad, you still holding on to the past? Why don't you get over it? Dad, come on now. We all have been through some shit. You still holding on to that? Why don't you just forgive? You need to get over it. At the end of the day, that's still your mother. The Bible says, honor thy mother, honor thy father. They're going to hit you with all types of stuff. They're trying to get you to break no contact. They're trying to get you to go back to being dysfunctional like they are. So you got to understand, they love dysfunction. They're like a bunch of pigs rolling in the mud. You ever go to a farmhouse and you see a group of pigs waddling in the mud? They're swimming in the mud and feces and vomit, and they're nasty, they're stink. They love it. Your family is in a cesspool of dysfunction and drama, and they normalized it. That dysfunction is normal to them. And they don't like the fact that you stepped away. You got the courage to break free from it, and you refuse to go back into it. That's why they cyber stalk you on social media. It's not just one family member. It's a bunch of them. It's multiple family members cyber stalking. This is what we call gang stalking. They're monitoring you. They're orbiting you, orbiting your Facebook, orbiting your Instagram, orbiting your TikTok. Just watching you, waiting for a weak moment to strike. They want to contact you so bad and guilt trip you to try to get you to come back. More importantly, they're assisting the ringleader. And who is the ringleader? The ringleader is the dominant narcissist of the family. It may be your father. In my case, it's my mother and my nana. My nana is my father's mother. Both women are malignant narcissists. They're both sociopaths. They're both extremely masculine, dominant. They both have nasty mouth. Both of them use extreme profanity. Yet when I get on my social media platform and I use profanity, they want to get mad and upset and bothered. Bitch, where did I learn the fucking profanity? The apple don't fall far from the tree. So that makes them both fucking hypocrites. Don't talk about my mouth and what comes out my mouth. Y'all were piss poor. You set piss poor examples as adults. You cussed in front of the children. You cussed like fucking sailors. Now shut up and sit down and don't worry about what comes out of my mouth. Hypocrite. Yeah, that's how I talk to them now because I'm fed up of the dysfunction. So I don't even allow them the opportunity to gaslight me. You say something to me to gaslight or trigger me or deny my reality, deny my pain, deny anything that's happened to me. I dare you so I can cuss you the fuck out. They don't want the smoke with me. It's a new day. If they won't cut out their bullshit, I'm going to show them how the fuck it's done, and I'm going to stand on business, and they can watch. They're going to stalk because they don't know how to break out of their own dysfunction. And they're sitting up wondering and watching you. How did she do it? How is she so successful? Dag, did it really take her breaking free from the family to level up? If she's leveling up, then it means we need to look in the mirror and work on ourselves too. They don't want to look in the mirror. You leveling up and pulling away and cutting them off, it forces them into an uncomfortable position where they have to look at their selves in the mirror. It's real uncomfortable. You're shining a mirror on their flaws. You're shining a mirror on their dysfunction. You're just shining a mirror on the cesspool of dysfunction. And it's real uncomfortable for them. They don't like it. Listen. The attempt to suck you back into the family dysfunction is going to be so strong. You are going to have to change your number. Some of y'all are going to have to pack up and relocate. A lot of y'all, some of your parents is paying your bills. That needs to stop. You need to be 100% financially independent. They don't need to pay your bills. They shouldn't have a joint bank account with you. Nothing should be in their name, and their name should not be on anything of yours. Do not allow them to move in with you. Don't, if you're living with them, you should be working on an exit strategy to move out of their home and far away. Somebody needed to hear this video. And I'm going to tell you something. I could be homeless tomorrow. If I were to become homeless tomorrow, I would never bother my family. I'd rather sleep on the streets in a cardboard box than to go backwards to that bullshit and dysfunction. They can have it. I am so at peace with this life. I'm so glad I got out of the family dysfunction. Listen, the peace and joy that I have. My health has improved. My stress levels gone. My money, my finances have increased. They know what they've done to you. They hate that you've called out their toxic behaviors. And they know they cannot pin it on you. And if they're trying to pin it on you, you've made it so that they can't even reach you. They can't even call you up on the phone or hold a conversation to accuse you or gaslight you because you're standing on motherfucking boundaries. It's a new day. Be strong, y'all. It's holiday time. They're going to, they might even use, somebody's going to be in the hospital or end up in a nursing home or hospice. They try to pull on your heartstrings. Don't call me for nothing. I don't care who. Listen, if I end up in a hospital, I'll call my friends before I call my family. Yeah, it's that real. It gets to a point you don't even want them around you. If you're in the hospital, why would you want these demons praying over you or praying for you? You're not going to want nothing to do with them. That's how toxic and demonic they are, your own family members. So stand on business this holiday season. If you don't have my book, hold on, let me get a copy of my book. It's called My Family Can Kiss My Ass. Hold on here. If y'all don't have the book, it's on Amazon. I will post a link down below. There you go. My Family Can Kiss My Ass. All right. Have a safe, blessed holiday and stay narcissistic free.